Hi, I'm Venus O'Hara and welcome to another video. It's been so long since I made a video and I've been getting lots of warnings from YouTube. Make a video, because otherwise my views are going down. Anyway, for those of you who don't follow me on Instagram, you might not know this, but I've been in hospital with COVID, pneumonia, anemia, so it's been quite intense this last month. I actually got sick on the 4th of February. And my first symptoms were, I just felt a bit kind of trembly, a bit feverish, and I had the worst headache I've ever had in my life. And I never have headaches. I don't even have paracetamol at home. So this was a really kind of new situation for me. And the headache was right on the front of my head. And I was looking online and it said that was a stress headache. I was thinking, is it a migraine? Is it this, that, and the other? And so it was really on my forehead. And I was I was taking paracetamol, and I was using kind of ice on and off just to kind of relieve the pressure on my head. And at that time, I just was at home self-isolating. I thought that was the best thing to do. And I had friends coming to drop off food and medication, over-the-counter medication, obviously with distance and masks, etc. And so then the next thing that happened was I completely lost my appetite. I didn't want to eat anything. And when I did eat, I was just it was a massive effort. And I didn't want to eat anything that had any strong flavours. I wanted everything to be very bland and no dressings on my salads or anything like that. So I was just eating very, very bland food. And I was very weak. And then when I was, then one of my friends brought me some soup. And I just immediately threw up. So I had some nausea as well and vomiting, and this awful headache. And I was having some of these kind of powders with electrolytes in to kind of replenish yourself after diarrhea or vomiting. So I was taking that, some paracetamol, and I was sleeping okay at that point. And I remember one day I felt my nose was full, so I tried to kind of pick my nose, and it had these, like, really, it sounds disgusting, but just kind of red mucus coming out of my nose, and that was like, oh my God. And I thought by that point I was kind of getting better, but then the cough started. Oh my God, when the cough started, that was just terrible because I couldn't sleep at all. I was coughing all night long. But that didn't happen until maybe a week after this terrible headache and fever started. And by that point, I was just absolutely exhausted. And one of my friends said to me, you've got to get to a doctor. Because, I think we're all told to kind of self-isolate, and that's the best thing to do. But in hindsight, I wish I had called a doctor earlier. I really, really do. So anyway, it was a Friday night. It was the 12th of February. And I've got private medical insurance, fortunately, which I've been paying for the last 15 years. And I'm so glad I have been paying it. And I called them and told them about my symptoms. And they said they're going to take me to hospital. Which hospital do you want to go to? Because so I went to a private hospital where they came to pick me up about half an hour later. And I just got a few things together. I got my phone, my charger, my headphones, very important. I'm so glad I took them. And a toothbrush, and that was it really. That's all I took. I thought maybe I might be in hospital for a couple of nights. I just wanted to get them to give me something to sleep because I was so exhausted by this point. And obviously I'd spent maybe at this point almost 10 days without really eating. So I was very weak, no sleep, and just coughing non-stop. So anyway, I went into hospital. It was Friday night. And I had all these tests. I had MRI scan, x-rays, blood tests, and they told me that it was COVID. And so at that point, I think I was quite relieved, to be honest. I just thought, I'd rather it be COVID than something else, to be honest, because I just felt quite relieved at that point. And then I was taken to the COVID department or floor at that point, and I was in a room on my own, en suite. It was very nice. And also this hospital was in an area where I used to live many years ago, and I lived there for 8 years and I have fantastic memories of it. So just being around there just made me feel very relaxed. But anyway, these first couple of nights in this COVID department, I was just hearing all these other patients coughing non-stop, even though we're not in a ward, we're all in private rooms. It was very, very intense, just to hear that. And at that point, I wasn't even, I wasn't really going to the toilet or anything like that. I just was just so weak, and I was barely, I was still kind of not eating that well. And then a couple of days later, I had a PCR test, which was the most, oh my God, it was just absolutely awful. I had a friend who told me that he had one, and he felt like he wanted to cry after, and I really understood that, because I felt like my tear glands were like, ah. Anyway, when she was putting it in my nose, I was like, ah. I was like, no more, no further. And she said to me, I've only just started. And I was like, oh my God. It was a very, very invasive, uncomfortable test, definitely. Anyway, I had a PCR, and it was actually negative, and by that point I was moved to a different department, and then they told me that I had pneumonia on the whole of my right lung. Well, they told me before that, when they told me I had COVID, that I had inflammation in my lung, but I didn't realise how bad it was. So I had the whole of my right lung with pneumonia, but my left lung was fine. And what else? Then they told me I had anemia as well, and I just guessed that was from kind of the days and days of not eating, because I was barely eating at all. I just had no strength, no kind of motivation to eat. So anyway, I was on a drip this whole time as soon as I went into the hospital, and then when I was moved to the non-COVID area, that's when I got my appetite back, and I was just devouring the food, because, as you know, if you follow me, I'm a passionate vegan, so I got really good food. The food was really balanced. A few times they made a couple of mistakes, like I think they gave me a crepe one day, with eggs, and I was like, oh no, that's not vegan. So I had to kind of educate them a little bit about what it means to not eat animals. But I had a very nice, very well balanced meals anyway, and then just getting my appetite back was fantastic, and then being able to dress my food again with salt and vinegar and olive oil was just really nice. But I definitely felt too weak to be home, so I was just kind of like lying in my bed all day. I was meditating non-stop. I used this app called Insight Timer, and that was my rock at this time. Seriously, it was absolutely amazing. I was doing about 6 or 7 meditations per day, and then using my headphones. I was also doing binaural beats and other sound therapies for lungs and for pneumonia, etc. And I've never been in hospital before, and it was a really eye-opening situation. I think in hospital the emphasis is on treating symptoms with medication, and not much emphasis on getting patients enough water or rest, which is something I really don't understand. For example, they would give you medication at 11 o'clock at night, and then again at 6 o'clock in the morning, so there's no rest really, and I had to actually ask for sleeping pills to relax, because there was just no way I could sleep with a drip in my hand when you had to keep your hand flat all the time. And it was just very, very, very hard, and so I wasn't really getting the rest I needed, and I had to kind of really fight to get enough water. Unfortunately, because I wasn't in the COVID area, I was able to have visitors, so I had some friends bring me extra fruit and water, which was just like, oh, I need this so badly. And all the nurses were absolutely amazing with me. I was treated by many different people, because they have different shifts: night shift, afternoon shift, morning shifts, and then different days. And I was so impressed by all the work they did. I got in touch with Satisfyer, the wonderful company who makes one of the best-selling sex toys in the world, the clitoral stimulator, the Pro 2. And I asked them to send me some sex toys for the nurses, which was a kind of funny thing to do. But I really wanted to express my gratitude, not just for how they were treating me, but just for what they do in general, because it's just such an incredible job that they do. So that was really cool. So that kind of every time a nurse came in to treat me, I said, "Oh look, I've got a box." Like this box was shipped Express from Germany. So I had this big box in my room with all these Satisfiers, and I was just saying, hey, I've got a present for you there every time a nurse came into my room, and that was really cool. And also I got a friend to bring me some stuff from home, some of my crystals, so I was meditating with crystals, etc. And some of the nurses were actually also quite spiritual, and they were sharing some tips with me about meditation, and one of them told me to do a meditation to the Archangel Raphael for healing, and I did about 4 in a row. It was really, really cool. I really felt more kind of animated and positive after that, because I think when you're ill like that, you kind of feel, you lose hope, and you think you're in the hands of, you're just destiny, you don't really know what's happening to you. Whereas if you, I just felt that I had to kind of like take control of my own healing and just really visualize that I was going to get better, etc., and just ask for strength from Archangel Raphael, and it seems to have worked, definitely. And they wanted to send me home a week after I'd been admitted to hospital, but I think I needed about a couple more days just to kind of get my strength back. I couldn't imagine myself being at home and cooking again. I was so weak. So what else did I wanted to write here? Yeah, so I've got some notes here on the back of an envelope. So anyway, I did come home on Sunday, can't remember which date now, but it was I think it was Sunday the 21st, and I was still very weak at that point, and I had to get a friend to meet me outside my house to kind of take me to the pharmacy, because I had some antibiotics to take. And just when I got to the pharmacy, I had to ask for a chair to sit down. I was so weak. And I've just set up a bed now in my lounge. This is my sofa bed, just to kind of like be closer to my heating. And so when I came home, I slept like a baby. There's nothing like being in your own space and in your own duvet. And I so recommend mattress toppers. Oh my God. After a hospital bed, I mean, I was just so comfortable. I ended up sleeping a lot more, and then I started to really take charge of my food and nutrition. So I've been making the most amazing food over the last 10 days or 9-10 days since I've been back. And so I'm not coughing anymore, fortunately, and my lung was almost cleared up when I left the hospital. And I was still taking some pneumonia medication until about a few days ago. So I'm still quite tired, and I've started to go walking now every day. I've been walking now for the last 5 days. I've been out with a friend, so I still feel a bit woozy when I'm walking. So that's really good, because obviously being in bed for 3 weeks, you do lose a lot of strength. And my first day I went out, my legs just felt like jelly. I was just like, just like floating. So but now I'm getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and making amazing food, and every day is just a little bit better, a little bit easier. Yeah, and I've got loads of work, so it was really unfortunate that I missed out on all of these Valentine's Day campaigns for sex toys. This is a really busy time of year for anyone in my industry, but everyone's been so patient with me, and I have a big backlog of work to get through once I get better. And I'm kind of starting to do some work already, which is great, because I love my job so much. And what else did I wanted to say? Yeah, it's been an absolutely totally eye-opening situation, and life-changing. And I feel better because of it, actually. I think I'm going to be taking my health way more seriously than before. And now I have been kind of a health freak anyway, but I'm going to be even more of a health freak now. And also it was quite worrying that I had slight anemia as well, and I can imagine that's probably from all the days that I wasn't eating, so that's had a massive detrimental effect on me. And I'm doing my best now to incorporate as many iron-rich foods as I can into my diet, and then combining that with vitamin C to improve the absorption of those foods. But I did feel like that the medical community in general does not understand or don't really support the plant-based diet. It's a whole foods plant-based diet, which is what I follow. I don't really do vegan junk food or anything like that. I'm very, very much no processed food, mostly organic. And I felt that there was a kind of sentiment of you're in this situation because of your diet, not because of COVID, not because of anything else. And I completely just disagree with that. So now I'm actually going to I'm going to get some more blood work done in a couple of weeks, and I'm going to go to some vegan nutritionists here in Barcelona who are experts. I'm going to get a personalized meal plan so that I can be in the best shape I can be in. And yeah, so I think pain is the greatest teacher in life. And now I also feel a lot more connected with my family, my parents, my immediate family, and also all the cousins that I've got, because I have many cousins in 4 continents, and also with people who follow me as well. I feel like very connected, because I was really sharing a lot of my journey on Instagram, and I received so many incredible messages, comments, songs, and even pictures of people's gardens and flowers and stuff. So it was just amazing to have all of this support, and it really, really was amazing. Oh, I want to cry, but it was amazing. And so I'm just feeling very fortunate, very grateful, and determined to be in the best shape I can be in, and stronger, and make loads of videos and do everything that I've been doing before, but with even more conviction and purpose, etc. So anyway, thank you for watching, and thank you for supporting me at this time. And I'm definitely back on the plan. I've got loads of toys, lots of things to share, and lots of questions to answer about orgasms, etc. So I'm definitely motivated to start making videos again on a regular basis. So thank you for watching, and thank you for supporting me.